Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had a trailer for its DLC around 2 weeks ago, and with that showed the remaining courses. Here's just some quick thoughts and concerns for these maps. Before we get into this, I just want to mention that the majority of these maps look really polished. Although there are still some flaws that I'll point out later in the video, it is nowhere near as bad as the stuff we got in the first wave. Like, there's actual textures now. Well, for some tracks. You see, Rock Mountain still looks like a track from Wave 1. Originally, I was going to make an entire video on my concerns with this map, however, I think that would be a bit unfair. The track isn't even out yet, so who knows, maybe it could be fun in the DLC. However, the main appeal to this track is lost in 8 with the gliders. The course in Mario Kart 7 was used to show off how well the gliders work in that game, especially with that giant ending cut. So what's the problem? Well, Mario Kart 8 has very bad gliders with the movement, making you lose lots of momentum and it just not moving you that far at all. I'm sure that they could just overhaul the gliders, but considering that they already spent time doing the half pipes, I wouldn't count on it. Also, as I hinted to before, the track looks like garbage and comparable to Wave 1. Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but compared to the rest of Wave 3, it is underwhelming. Like, seriously, the cliffs have no texture at all. This is especially apparent when we have tracks such as Merry Mountain in the same wave as Rock Mountain. This course looks amazing so far from what we have seen. They actually have actual textures on the rocks, snow textures, gorgeous lights, and even Mario Kart 8's lighting engine helps it even further. Merry Mountain isn't my favourite track in Tour, with it placing as a C-tier map. However, that was only due to the janky camera, and I'm sure it'll be much better in Mario Kart 8. The layout has also had quite a few changes, like the glider ramp that was in the previous clip. To me, it's clear that Nintendo has put a lot of effort into this track, and it makes me extremely excited to play it. However, I think they changed DS Peach Gardens a bit too much. This applies to Tour as well. Before we talk about the negatives, let's talk about the positives. Firstly, the course no longer looks like crap, since it now looks more like what it's supposed to be. Actually, that's about it because every other change sucks. The flower cuts were basically removed, with them just being tiny little bits of grass. Any form of challenge in the maze was removed, with the number of hedges being reduced to 9. Now it'll probably just be a boring old straightaway with no challenge whatsoever. I'm getting worried that this will be similar to N64 Rainbow Road and Tokyo Blur, where it has no shortcuts but is also too simple to be a running track. Since I can't think of a good transition, let's just go to GBA Boo Lake. Unpopular opinion here, but I think this is the best looking course in the entire DLC so far. The slippery looking boardwalk looks very appealing. However, this increases the chances that this map will have rain physics. This means that turning will be slippery, which ruins every track it's on. I don't have much more to say aside from the fact that Mario Kart Tour has a top route used in its Boo Lake for the other variants on this map. I wonder if it'll be incorporated into the map somehow. 2 more maps with rather interesting routes are London Loop and Berlin Byways. Let's go over London first. Wow, this track is really good. The track was fun in Tour with lots of shortcut opportunities and great music. Both of those qualities carry over to the Mario Kart 8 version with them being improved. The lap changing gimmick will be fun as usual, meaning that this track will most likely be solid at worst. Berlin Byways will be interesting because this course is similar to Sydney Sprint, where the course has a different starting line placement on one of its variants. If the layout turns out to be anything like Mankalor's, then this track will be an absolute blast due to how absurd it is. Also, the cars are back from Berlin Byways free, so that is great, and the wumps launch you extremely high. I wouldn't be surprised if this track becomes a favourite for me. For most other people though, it'll be one of 2 tracks I'm about to talk about. The first being Maple Treeway from Mario Kart Wii. This course easily looks the best graphically in most people's opinions, and in my opinion, it looks alright. I can see what Nintendo was doing, but places such as the tree textures look a bit off. As for the layout itself, it's Maple Treeway, what do you expect? Of course it's amazing. The same could not be said for the remix though, as in my opinion, it's horrible. Just go listen to Duluth Teg Orb's rendition, which is based off the leaks, and then go back to this one, and it's night and day how worse it is, in my opinion at least. The final track for this discussion is 3DS Rainbow Road. This did not look how I expected it to, since I was worried it would look awful with Tour's art style. Instead, Nintendo made this water-like transparent rainbow for the road, and it looks good. As for the track itself, it'll probably play alright. The main thing I liked about Mario Kart 7's version of Rainbow Road were the numerous shortcuts which were unusual for a Rainbow Road map. But with Mario Kart 8 being no fun allowed, they probably won't be there. Also, there's anti-gravity on the moon, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that half of the tracks have anti-gravity this time around. These include Boo Lake, Merry Mountain, and Maple Treeway. Although not shown in the trailers, there's a half pipe at the ending of Maple Treeway, which most likely means anti-gravity. And yes, the half pipes are amazing. They were so fun in Wii, and it opens up much more possibilities with the tracks. Well, those are my early thoughts on Wave 3. Which tracks are you most excited for? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe as it helps out the channel a lot. With that said, have fun and I'll hopefully see you next time.